That's Oasis and Roll With It here on BBC Sussex and BBC Surrey. It's Thursday evening, it's 8:15, and I would like to introduce you all to a very special guest of mine, someone I've had the pleasure of knowing for a number of years. It is the fabulous Kim Neaves. Good evening, Kim.
Good evening, Mr. Cranford.
Now, the reason you're in today, I've been talking about this situation that you're just about to launch into, which is where you've had an amazing job at Gatwick Airport for the last, 20 years or so.
Yes.
However, you had a dream, and I remember discussing this with you quite a few years ago, because tell everyone at home what it is that you are going to be doing.
Well, quite interesting. People can never actually put their finger on what I'm doing. I'm going to be a producer of a rock show, touring all over the UK.
And there's something very special about this rock show, isn't it? Because it's called Women in Rock. So tell me about how you first had this idea.
I had a friend over actually, and it was one afternoon, and we were just deciding on somewhere to go for the weekend to go and see a show.
Okay.
And we were going through all the shows that were in the area, and we saw lots of tributes to Bon Jovi and Metallica, and we were looking for something a little bit different. And we both decided that actually there isn't anything that's dedicated to female rock artists, and the world has got so many that it was at that point that it came to us that I actually thought there is a niche in the market here. So we came up with Women in Rock.
Now, were you a big rock fan before this, or did you see, was this a passion or a business opportunity?
At the time, it was a passion, and it started off as a hobby. And I just basically put together a list of all what I thought were fabulous, iconic female rock legends.
So such as, who can you list?
Pat Benatar, Joan Jett. The thing with rock, it covers a massive genre. You can get pop rock, you can get metal rock. So we do everything. We do Belinda Carlisle, we do Pink, we do Debbie Harry. We do Cher, Tina Turner. It's a huge umbrella. And before long, there was enough material there to put a show together. I had no idea that it would get as big as it has, and as I say, it started as a bit of fun.
So this is something you started perhaps at home. You got in from work, you decided to try and put this thing together, so you had to not only come up with the format, but you had to cast this, didn't you? Because
Yes.
One obvious question people may be asking, do you sing?
No. Well, my husband would debate that. I think I can. My lovely band won't let me anywhere near the microphones.
But you're definitely on the management side
Absolutely,
of the thing. So
yeah.
So you needed your team of wonderful performing artists. How on earth do you even start doing that? Saying, hello, we're going to set up something. This may be a success. It may not. Are you interested? Is that how you started?
I'm very fortunate, Stephen. I have a lot of wonderful friends in the business that are musicians who have been behind me from day one, and with their support and tapping into their experience, I knew then I was kind of guided what I needed to do. But in my vision was to make sure that this wasn't just going to be a band that was going to play every sort of now and then, every twice a month or whatever. So I auditioned, basically. I knew what I wanted, and I auditioned, and they came from far and wide. And as you say, it was how do you get the right caliber of people when you don't know how it's going to work out?
No.
That was hard.
Because it's not like you're joining an existing band that's been
Absolutely.
very successful, and you're just like a new crew member.
Absolutely.
This is all or bust, isn't it? Really.
It was. I mean, financially, of course, a lot went into it on my side, and I will always be eternally grateful for my role as a manager at Gatwick. And because of that, Women in Rock is where it is now.
So your colleagues at Gatwick Airport, what did they make of you doing this? They presumably knew all about it. Were they really up for it and were cheering you along, or did they think, crikey, that's a bit odd, why don't you do that? Well, most people on their day off watch, Murder, She Wrote and go shopping. And here you are running a rock band.
I know. My friends and family could see the work that was going on behind it. And my team at Gatwick and my colleagues, I think, were a little bit dubious because they didn't really get it until they actually came to a show. And it was very much, I think they definitely appreciated the work and the hours, because I was doing 60 hours a week, and then coming home.
And then doing this?
Yeah, throwing a few hours
I don't
of
know
it.
how you find the time. Now, your fabulous shows are coming to the south, aren't they? Where's the next one in Sussex or Surrey?
The East Grinstead, the Chequer Mead Theatre at East Grinstead on February the 22nd.
Fabulous.
We are going to be playing back again at the Eastbourne Bandstand in August.
Very nice.
And we've got Dartford as well in February.
Very good.
But the show is all over the UK.
All over the country.
Yeah.
Now, how do you go? You saying about that you auditioned. How do you even put the combinations of singers together? Because presumably you get strong voices, lead voices. Is there a pecking order in the singers, or do they all have their moment? Do they all have a solo?
Basically, the girls, I have the musicians are all men, and my boys are fabulous. They know their place, but predominantly it is the three vocalists, female vocalists that front the band.
Okay.
They are all lead singers. Jennifer Green is the MD of the show, so she has been in musicals and theatres her whole life, and I'm very much guided by her. I'm more of I know the vision and the management style, and I also know the most important thing about Women in Rock is that the songs you can expect when you come and see the show is that they are songs that you don't often hear live, recreated as exactly as we can make it possible. And they all have different styles of singing, they all have different ranges, but when you are performing the artists, the huge plethora of artists that we do feature, you have to have all different voices, and they get together and they make magic.
Fabulous. Well, we'll be back with you in a few minutes. Let's just break for a little bit of music. This is Stupid Things from Keen, and then we'll have a further chat with the fabulous Kim.
Made in Sussex for Sussex.
BBC Sussex.
With Stephen Cranford.
It's 26 minutes past 8 on Thursday evening across BBC Sussex and BBC Surrey. Delighted that we got Kim Neaves in the studio, who is the manager, creator, who producer, thank you, Kim, of Women in Rock, a fabulous all-women rock tribute act that goes all around the country and, in fact, abroad.
Yes, we do.
Where is the most exotic place you've been?
Exotic. Well, we played Southend Pier. Yes, absolutely. Blackpool. No, we were very fortunate to have played twice for Harley Davidson in Europe. We were in the Czech Republic in 2018.
Wow!
And last year we were invited back to play at their rock and bike festival in just outside of Lisbon in Cascais on the beach.
Gosh.
There was about 30,000 people.
And do you go to all of these gigs? I know you've been working, so it's probably a little bit trickier. Do you go to the sort of the glitzy ones?
Of course. Anywhere there's a bit of sun. Yes, I have been travelling. I do a lot of travelling with the show. I will be pulling back from that now, going forward, because basically, I was doing all the travelling on my 2 days off, and I'm just not recovering anymore.
There aren't enough days in the week, are there?
No.
So here we are then, Kim. The situation is you have about one more week of full-time salaried work.
I know.
And then it's bye-bye full-time job.
Scary.
How are you feeling?
I'm nervous. I am very nervous, but I'm very excited, and I'm very, very positive. I'm feeling very positive about what's to come.
Because I imagine you do the very practical things, like you'll do, will I have enough money? Can I cover my bills?
Yes.
Have I got a little bit of backup funding? All that kind of very practical thing. But in your heart, this is this is what's the important thing. This has been your dream, isn't it?
It has. I don't look at it as though I'm giving up a job. Or a career. I'm looking at it as though I'm giving up everything to make my dream come true. It already has, to be honest, Stephen. It's exceeded more than I imagined it could or would. So the way I look at it is, yes, of course, you've got your wages, you've got sick pay, you've got holiday pay. I've always taken that for granted. I have a company car, I have fuel.
Yeah.
It's a scary thought, but at the same time, it's going to be life-changing. And if it doesn't work, which I know it will, or if it takes a different route, I can always hop back into something else.
You'll find someone.
Yeah, of course. But you only get one life and you have to pursue it. And I've put too much into this. And it's got to the show is now at a stage where it needs my full attention.
Yeah. So you, being the producer of this, you have an overall reign on how it looks, how it sounds, the outfits that the performers wear.
Yes.
The kind of venues that you go to. Do you have a say in that, or the songs that they they'll perform?
Yes, I basically do all the bookings, and I know now what suits the show. It is a bigger production now, so we do predominantly play theatres. Yeah. And outfits, I do have a vision, and the songs as well. However, my guys, my band, my musicians, they are not scared in giving me their thoughts and feelings. And if they feel that a decision I make is not right, they'll explain why, and we meet in the middle. It's all about compromise.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm not a musician. I have a vision, but they are the ones that are creating the show.
Yes.
They are the ones that go on stage and they know what's right.
Now, because you at home may know this, my musical repertoire is a little bit more sort of Rodgers and Hammerstein and Disney, but I actually did go along to see one of your shows, and it was amazing. But I didn't really know any of the songs, did I? I knew one or two.
You knew two.
I knew two.
Yes.
And these stunning women, here's me as a gay man, they looked amazing. But mind you, I suppose it's each to their own, isn't it? You've done some lesbian gigs, haven't you?
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
We've got a couple of weddings this year, and we're going to be doing some pride festivals as well.
Fantastic.
We are very big, in the market, and we have women that love the girls, we have men that love the girls. It's fabulous. It's it's everything.
And if you love your female rock, then it's absolutely the right thing for you, isn't it?
It is.
Great stuff. Well, we'll just do a little check on the old weather and the travel, and then we'll be back. Just bear with us. That's Tintin Out. Here's where the story ends. It's Cranners in on BBC Sussex and BBC Surrey. It's 22 minutes to 9, and we've got our fabulous guest Kim in the studio with us just for a few more minutes before she moves on to the rest of her evening. We have a few nice text messages in for you, Kim, which is rather lovely. We've got a message here from Jane in Worthing saying, "Hi Stephen, just listening to Kim and wish her so much luck in her new career. I never had the courage to do it in my life. Something I do regret sometimes. Loving your show as always," says Jane. So that's a lovely message from Jane.
Bless her.
Also, Rocky has sent a text in. By the way, if you want to send a message to Kim or to any of us this evening, 81333, start your message with the word radio. I gave up working as a site supervisor on the building sites to join the ambulance service and transporting organs all over the UK. Go Kim Neaves. She is an amazing lady. Women in Rock is great. A must-see rock show touring the UK. So that's from Rocky as well.
Oh, bless.
And we had a message from Will in Brighton as well saying, sounding great. So there we are. That's all good. So lots of lovely positive messages. One thing I want to ask you, Kim, and Jane has kind of touched on this. Probably everyone has a little secret ambition, don't they? Something they think, oh, I'd love to do that. Mm-hmm. What's your advice?
I think whatever you decide to do is to do your groundwork, do your research, and don't be afraid to ask for help and support. And that's everything I did. I did everything I could to find out about it because it's a big risk. It's a huge risk.
And the one good thing about you managed to set up Women in Rock and do the day job, and they ran in parallel. I suppose that meant if it hadn't succeeded, you still had the comfort blanket of your of safety net of your regular job. But it's gone from strength to strength. Kim, if people want to come see your amazing shows, do you have a website that they can
We
look at?
do. It's www.womeninrock.co.uk. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, all of our events are there. Please come along, whatever you whatever you think, you can expect to have a fantastic time, and you'll be rocking and singing and know all the songs and think you won't, but you will.
Kim Neaves, thank you very much. You've been an amazing guest.
Thank you.
All the best with Women in Rock, and you enjoy your last few days at your day job as you finish next week, don't you? And I hope they bring in lots of yummy cakes for your final day.